Hey guys, Chris here. Gonna go ahead and talk about this amazing scooter right here from Solar Scooters. It is the P1 Pro. Bear with me, I'm doing this one-handed on the gimbal. And there it is. Wow, she looks great in the sunlight. Now this Solar P1 Pro is equipped with two 2,000 watt motors totaling up to 4,000 watts of power. Now that's peak performance right there, baby. This scooter came out in 2023, so this is a recent release from Solar themselves. If you guys know the P1 2.0, this is the big brother. That also means it can reach speeds up to 50 miles per hour. Now, I haven't really tried going that fast yet. The fastest I've gone is around 37 to 40 miles per hour, which is still really fast. Now, I did take this scooter trail riding just a little bit, and it held up pretty well. As far as the cornering goes, I went a little too fast around a corner, and I ended up falling. I didn't get footage of that, but I think the scooter itself is fine. The handlebar got all bent up and everything, or it got, misaligned. So luckily I had my tools with me and I was able to fix that. Now this scooter is also equipped with sine wave controllers. If you get the LCD fingerprint display upgrade like I did, you can see it right there in the silhouette. And a little bit about the handlebar. Solar told me that they're going to be releasing an upgraded version of this. This is the stock one. And the reason why is because I got a little bit of speed wobble, and maybe it's because of the way I was riding. But if you buy that handlebar, it should eliminate most of the speed wobble. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the launch mode settings. This scooter is equipped with 3 different mode settings of slow, medium, and fast. So there's modes 1, 2, and 3. Launch mode has 5 different modes from 1 through 5, 1 being the slowest and 5 being the fastest. I typically ride sort of aggressively, so I like to keep mine at around 5. Regen braking is also great. You can set the intensity of that too from 1 to 5. Now, if you're like me and you like to ride a lot without looking at the actual LCD monitor display, and if you're worried about mileage, fear no more. This thing has 50 miles of range. Now, this is a big battery. As you can see, the battery is going to be on the bottom of the scooter. The scooter is also equipped with turn signals, which is extremely bright during the day. Honestly, I found it to be super useful. So turn signals, it's got a horn, which I hardly ever use. It's quite loud. Now, the LCD fingerprint display, I got that as an optional upgrade. You can check it out on Solar's website. It doesn't come with it. I think it's like an additional $115 or something like that. It's definitely worth it. It's a brighter display. Also, this thing has 2 front lights, as you can see right there. I got the Tron package in cyan blue, which is an amazing color, especially at night. It really pops out. It's extremely vibrant. Now this scooter, of course, comes with cruise control. However, I find myself not using it very much just because of the way I ride. Regen braking is a little bit rough. It takes some getting used to. If you keep it on level 4 or 5, regen braking is extremely intense. You might feel a kick in if you press slightly on the brakes. Solar also has a video demonstrating on how to activate regen braking. If you want to save your brakes, that is a great option to do so. It puts some extra energy back into the battery itself, and it saves your brakes. It's a win-win in my book. Now, so far I've tested it on uphill, downhill braking. Uphill performance is extremely good. It is no slouch whatsoever. And you can definitely tell that this performs much better than most of your commuter scooters that you see out there in the streets. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my settings specifically and what I have. So I typically ride on speed 2. 3, it took some getting used to because this is my first scooter. Now mode 3 is a lot quicker than you think it is, especially if you aren't used to the speed of scooters like how I am. This is my first time riding a scooter. So mode 1, extremely slow. It's super manageable. Mode 2, it gets up there, and mode 3 is a totally different gap between 2 and 3. Now this is a dual motor scooter. However, you still have the option of riding in single motor mode. I'm not sure why you would, other than the fact that if it is your first time riding this scooter like I am. So I definitely started off in mode 1, launch mode set on 1, regen braking set on 5. I turned on eco mode. This thing does have eco mode as well as that giant yellow button. If you press inwards, it means it is in eco mode. If you press outwards, it means it is not. So I definitely like that, rookie, I want to call it a rookie or newbie friendly feature. And then, slowly you could turn off eco mode. Slowly you can go to mode 2. You can bump up launch mode from settings 1 all the way up to 5 as you please. Now currently my settings for mode 2, or actually for all of them, I do keep launch mode on 3 instead of 5, just because on modes 4 and 5 I found out that the tire spin was spitting out constantly. At least on launch mode setting number 3, it's not spitting out as much, so it might save the tires from from damage. Now when it comes to braking performance, this scooter is no slouch. It is equipped with nut hydraulic brakes and it is amazing. Disc brakes I'm starting to learn that disc brakes are in fact extremely durable. And what's cool about these brakes is that if you install the finger silicone things like I have on there, Solar sells them on their website, it makes it easier to grip with your fingers. Now, have I had any problems with these brakes so far? I will say that I had to bleed the mineral oil twice already, and I don't know if it's my fault or if it's the scooter's fault, just how the physics are, but I do transport my scooter a lot, and I was told from Solar that if I do that often, the mineral oil can shift around the scooter and it can cause pockets of air and stuff like that. So Solar does have an amazing video, a step-by-step guide on how to bleed your mineral oil from the actual braking system, and it made it really easy, and honestly it's super easy to do, and now it's good to go. Other than that, I haven't really had any issues with the brakes other than that it starts squeaking. The front brake does squeak a little bit, maybe because it's just dirty or something, so I got to figure that out. That's probably more on my end and not really Solar's end. Nothing really they can do about that. Now I do pump my tires up to 50 psi, and so far I have about 70 miles ridden on the scooter, so it's not enough to really conduct an actual review. So I'm gonna try to go up to 200 miles and see what I can do from there. Now I do want to go ahead and talk about Solar's customer service because they were the ones that helped me a lot. Now, part of the reason why I chose this company, Solar Scooters, is because they are extremely responsive in social media when it comes to asking questions and getting them answered. Whether it may be like, maybe you have like a basic question of how much PSI should my tires have, right? Because I didn't know. I thought it was 40, maybe it was 50. Decided to pop a question in the DM, got a response. Also, I needed help bleeding the brake fluid, so they were able to help me with that. They sent me an actual personal video on how to do it and as to why it happens. Okay, so I think part of the biggest things, at least in my opinion, when you choose to buy a product such as this, because these are performance scooters, it's not exactly cheap, right? Then a couple $1,000s on this, so it's important to choose a company that has 2-year warranty, such as Solar, and that are extremely responsive in helping you. Because at the end of the day, you're probably going to be like me, especially if you're new to this thing. It's a super fun hobby, but I'm just 4 weeks into this thing, and I still have so many questions. I'm always Google searching, I'm always asking, and they answer my questions every single time. Now let's talk about the suspension on this P1 Pro. Honestly, I've been testing this thing out and going over speed bumps. This thing is definitely no slouch as well in that department. So there's 4 springs in the front and 1 giant spring in the back. So I weigh 160 pounds, and I think this scooter is great for going over speed bumps as well. So potholes as well, although try to avoid them because if you have low PSI, you might get a flat tire. Now, of course, when we're talking about the performance capability of dual motor scooters. The reason why I chose this one is because I love riding uphill, I love riding aggressive, and I feel like a single motor scooter just wouldn't do it justice. Now, if you go on Solar's website to order this scooter, you have options of choosing on-road tires or off-road tires. When we're talking about battery performance, this P1 Pro is equipped with a 60 volt, 26 amp lithium ion battery. It's capable of going up to 50 miles in range. Now, I haven't really tested that because I haven't had the endurance to ride up to 50 miles. However, this thing is no slouch. I'm pretty sure it can take you around the city all day, every day. Now, depending on how you ride, there are 2 orange bars that you can see right here. That you can actually put your left foot or your right foot on. Now, I found that putting my left foot on there actually gives me a lot more room throughout the entire board, and it gives me more balance, so I'm not really like, falling over and stuff, which is great. Now, you can also adjust the height of the P1 Pro of this handlebar. There's 3 adjustments. You're gonna see these 3 levels, so it's great for transportation as well. On the topic of transportation, it is portable. I drive a Prius. I'm able to fit it back in the trunk if I fold down all my seats. It's quite heavy as well, especially if you have back problems like me. However, I think their flagship model scooters, such as the P1 Pro and their FF 2.0, aren't really meant to be transported. But if you want a lighter scooter, I do recommend getting the smaller brother of this one, which is the P1 2.0. It's their best top-selling scooter to date on the market. It performs like a beast as well. Now, upon purchasing this scooter, I did buy an extra battery pack just because I wanted to charge this thing faster. This scooter is equipped with 2 charging ports. You can charge a scooter in about 4 hours from 0 to 100. Now, Solar recommends that you don't keep the battery at 0%, obviously. They actually recommend that you keep it topped up whenever you can for as long as you can. That way, it does keep the battery life extended. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the rear fender because recently, like I said before, I did have a nail puncture. It was a pretty big one, and the green slime was not able to help me seal the tire. I still got a flat. However, the rear fender on the bottom of it was completely covered in the slime. So fender protection on the P1 Pro is amazing. Now, at the time of making this video, my P1 Pro did not come with self-healing tires. Now, from my understanding, from here on out, the Solar is going to be implementing self-healing tires, which is new. All right, so I figured now would be a great time to talk about eco mode. I know recently back there I did mention that eco mode is for rookies. However, I've been doing some more trail riding recently, and I found out that eco mode on mode number 2, or speed mode number 2, gets you around like 18 to 20 miles per hour, which is really smooth. And honestly, I believe it saves battery, and at least that's what it feels like. The acceleration isn't as hard, and the speed doesn't go quite as fast, which is honestly quite nice if you're just trying to if you're just trying to just cruise on trails. You're not trying to do anything too crazy, and you're not trying to ride aggressively. So I think mode 2 on eco mode is where it's at for me. Mode 3 is more or less the same, it's just faster. So I realize in eco mode, all the acceleration is exactly the same. It's just the speed, there's just a little bit of a speed difference, of course. Now, if I flip it into single motor mode and I try to ride on mode 2, I think the acceleration is, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's just a little less, obviously because I'm in single motor mode. Let me try this out. We're in mode 2, eco mode, and single motor mode. Let's see how this takes off. Oh yeah, real slow, super smooth. And that's in single motor mode. Granted, this is a little bit uphill, but it's okay. Dual motor, everything else is the same. Let's check it out. Get a little bit of a tire spin for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it for eco mode. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to add. The fingerprint display, I can't believe I didn't mention this before, but you don't need any keys. So the upside of this is that, obviously you don't need to carry around a spare key. I carry a lot of keys anyways, and it's just one more thing to lose, So you can just turn it off. Okay, well, if I can get it turned off. There you go, long press and fingerprint. You can use your thumbs or index fingers or whatever you use. It can store up to 10 fingerprints, which is great. So another great benefit of this fingerprint display. All right, now who do I think this scooter is for and who should buy it? Well, really, if you're just getting to scooters, like how I was, this would honestly be a great first purchase, even though it is a performance scooter. The reason why I say it's such a great purchase is because you have so many options in terms of speed, and how you want to set up the scooters. However, like I mentioned before earlier, I started off on speed mode number 1 with eco mode and single motor mode. However, I was gradually able to increase that. I switched on dual motor. I turned off eco mode, and then I went up to mode 2, and then eventually mode 3. Now, clearly I don't even ride in mode 3 as much just because I don't find it to be as applicable for me. I ride streets and I ride trails. I'm not really trying to do any high-speed runs and hurt myself really. So, with this scooter, you have a wide range of accessibility when it comes to speed. And also, if you get this scooter with the off-road tire package, you can go off-roading. I mean, just look at how high this deck is from the ground, right? It is a pretty tall height. And this kickstand is amazing too. I have heard of other scooter companies having poor kickstands, and honestly, I didn't realize how much of a feature this was until I saw that. All right, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to try the hill test. Now, I don't know the actual slope of it, but you can kind of okay, well, once I start going up, you'll be able to see. And I'm not gonna be in the highest speed setting. Once again, I'm gonna be in mode 2, dual motor is on, and eco mode. I'm gonna be in eco mode, okay? So let's go ahead and test this out. Hill test, let's go. Oh yeah. Yep, no problems whatsoever. Absolutely none. And that's just on mode 2 with launch mode setting on 3 and eco mode is on and it's on dual motor. So imagine if launch mode setting was set on 5, you were in mode 3 and eco mode was turned off. That would be crazy. Honestly, this thing has no issues going up any hill whatsoever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you live in San Francisco, this scooter will be able to dominate the hills with ease. All right, so that pretty much concludes the end of this review video of the Solar P1 Pro. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer everyone accordingly. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.